Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. It is 2025. Y'all, is that not crazy? I feel like 2024 was the longest but also the shortest year of my life. It dragged and dragged and dragged, but it also went by so fast. Overall, it was a year, but it was not bad. As you guys saw from the title, I'll be talking about my January TBR, and I'll also be talking about my 2025 reading goals. Here are my bookish questions today. I have 3. 1, if you read on an e-reader, what size is your font on? Mine is on a 4. Question number 2, what is your least favorite genre? Mine used to be thrillers. Now it's my favorite. Now my least favorite is romance. Last question is, who is your favorite booktuber to watch? Every time I want to say something, my mind goes completely blank. Okay, Eden Jonas and Emmy Rossum, I really enjoyed their videos. I don't know why, I just had like a huge brain. My brain was just doing that short circuit thing and it was just loading symbol. We're gonna talk about my January TBR. I have 10 books on my January TBR. My full-on reading goal for the year, how many books I want to read, is 60 books. Last year was 75. I read 32. I wanted to start strong. Last year in January, I read 14 books. I was on a Frida McFadden binge. Her books are so bingeable. The conclusion was never it for me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna read another one, try again. Okay, I'm gonna read another one, try again. I'm gonna read another one, try again. And then, you know, nothing gets that housemaid itch. Nothing does. Also, The Housemaid is gonna be a movie. I will be watching it. Okay, yeah, so the goal for this year is 60 books, starting off with 10 books on the January TBR. And I'm gonna show y'all. Let's get into it. The books are behind me. I'm gonna go get them. Alrighty, I've got the first stack right here. 4 out of 5 of the books in this stack are from the library. Support your local library. Alright, I'm about to drop them. Okay, so the first book not from the library is You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria. This is an adult romance. I've had this book for a fairly long time, and I really want to work on completing my physical TBR. I'm going to be reading books off my physical TBR, and if I like them, I'm going to keep them. If I don't, I'm going to donate them, sell them, get rid of them, because I don't need them. I actually don't know what this one is about. It says, after a messy public breakup, soap opera darling Jasmine Lynn Rodriguez finds her face splashed across the tabloids. When she returns to New York to star in a new bilingual romantic comedy television show, Jasmine figures her leading lady plan should be easy enough to follow until a casting shakeup pairs her with telenovela hunk Ashton Suarez. After he was killed off his last telenovela, Ashton is worried his career is dead as well. Joining this new cast last-minute addition will give him the chance to show off his acting chops to an American audience and ping the radar of Hollywood casting agents. Okay, so I definitely didn't know this was like a celebrity romance, so that's interesting, and I don't think I've ever read one of those before. I started Mile High, and the mailman character, he's in the NHL, so maybe I have if that counts. I never finished it though, and I don't think I'm gonna. If you've finished the Windy City series, is Mile High worth reading, or should I switch to Caught Up? There's another one I can't think of the name of. So that's the first book. Now we have A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kimmerer. This is from the library. I've checked this book out from the library at least 3 times. This is gonna be the time that I read it, and I wanted to read Defy the Night, Defend the Dawn, and also Forging Silver into Stars, but apparently to get into all of that, you have to read this series, so I have to start here. I really like the cover, Forging Silver into Stars, and then I was like, you know what, Defy the Night, Defend the Dawn look good, but it all comes back to this series, starting with A Curse So Dark and Lonely, so I shall do my due diligence and start here. I mean, you know, I used to be like, if there's spin-off series or like sister books or whatever, I'd be like, you have to start from the beginning. Now I don't care anymore. Every time I read a review of someone that read Forging Silver into Stars first, like, starts with A Curse So Dark and Lonely, it's important, so I'm going to. As to what any of these books are about, no idea. I'm just judging books by their covers and picking them up. And it's fantasy, so I'm gonna go into it blind. Now we have Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, another book that I've checked out at least twice. This is a YA thriller. It's the first in a completed series, and I believe there's a spin-off series of this as well. Ellingham Academy is a famous private school in Vermont. It was founded by Albert Ellingham, an early 20th century tycoon who wanted to make a wonderful place full of riddles, twisted pathways, and gardens. A place, he said, where learning is a game. In 1936, shortly after the school opened, Ellingham's wife and daughter, Iris and Alice, were kidnapped. The only real clue was mocking riddle listing methods of murder, signed with the frightening pseudonym Truly Devious. It became one of the great crimes of American history. Something like that could never happen again, of course. Years later, true crime aficionado Stevie Bell is set to begin her first year at Ellingham Academy. She has an ambitious plan. She will solve this cold case. That is, she will solve the case when she gets a grip of her demanding new school life and her housemates, the inventor, the novelist, the actor, the artist, and the jokester. Something strange is happening. Truly Devious makes a surprise return, and death revisits Ellingham Academy. The past has crawled out of its grave. Someone has gotten away with murder. I don't know about y'all, but I love books that take place in private schools, boarding schools. I love it. I love the vibe of it. One of my favorite series growing up was the Lost. Oh, I can't think of it. Lost Girls? I think it's called The Lost Girls. I'll put it on the screen. I'm gonna be so irritated if that's not it when I see it, because it's on my shelf in the living room. I can't think of the name though. I loved it, and it took place at a boarding school, and I just have loved books like that ever since. I am very, very happy that I checked this out and can't wait to read it. Now, don't ask me why I'm reading this in the winter in January, but this is The Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. This is me giving this author a second chance because I read Every Summer After by her and did not like it at all. Everyone says it's a knockoff of Love in Other Words. Ironically, I dislike Love in Other Words more than I disliked Every Summer After. But that's a story for another day. I could talk about those books for entirely way too long. And that's honestly why I made a booktube channel, because I have so much to say about books and no one to listen to me about them in real life. This is me giving her a second chance. I'm just gonna go into it blind and hope for the best. We have a graphic novel. This is Salt Magic by Hope Larson and Rebecca Mock. Then seeing my library's graphic novel and manga section, I will no longer be buying graphic novel and manga. I'll be getting it from the library, and if I do buy it, I'll be getting it from Ollie's Bargain Hut because their selection is also amazing. 12-year-old Von Seal cannot wait for her older brother Elber to come home to the family farm in Oklahoma after serving on the front lines of World War I. But the young man who greets her at the train station is serious and responsible, not the fun-loving brother she remembers, and he doesn't have time for her anymore, especially not after he marries his plain, boring childhood sweetheart. Soon after the wedding, glamorous, mysterious Greta arrives at the farm. She's followed Elber all the way back from Paris, and when she learns he's married another woman, she's furious. Revealing herself as a powerful salt witch, she dooms the farm by turning its only source of water, a spring, to crop-destroying salt water. Elber falls ill from the shock, so Von Seal strikes out on her own to confront Greta and lift the curse. In this utterly unique graphic novel fairy tale, Von Seal travels through deserts, ghost towns, and her family's past in her quest to set things right. The journey will change her in ways that can't be undone and teach her powerful lessons about sacrifice, love, and the importance of family. Got it for the cover, stayed for the synopsis. I say that so much, but it's true. I haven't read a truly amazing graphic novel in quite a while, so I'm hoping this will be that. I love graphic novels so much, but I've not read like one where I was like, that was amazing, show-stopping, jaw-dropping in a minute. Alright, to the next stack. Alright, stack number 2. First up, we have The Grim Reaper's Lawyer by Mia Monique, another book that has been on my TBR entirely too long. I got this book as soon as it came out. Like the day it came out, I ordered it, and that's basically it. She is a lawyer for the Grim Reaper. I hear that it's funny. I love a good laugh, and I'm trimming down the TBR. Let's see what it's all about. I Hope This Doesn't Find You by Anne Liang. This is a YA romance. It just looks so cute. It was sent to me. Sadie Wynn is perfect on paper. She's the school captain, valedictorian, and a pleasure to have in class. It's not easy, but she has a trick to keep her model student smile plastered on her face at all times. She channels all her frustrations into her email drafts. She'd never send them, of course. She would rather die than hurt anyone's feelings. But it's a relief to let loose on her power-hungry English teacher or a freeloading classmate taking credit for her work. All Sadie's most vehemently worded emails are directed at her infuriating co-captain, Julius Gong. The arrogance and competitive streak have irked Sadie since they were kids. You're attention-starved and self-obsessed and unbearably vain. I really hope your comb breaks and you run out of whatever expensive hair products you've been using to make your hair appear deceptively soft. Sadie doesn't hold back on her emails because nobody will ever read them. That is until they're accidentally sent out. Overnight, Sadie's carefully crafted, conflict-free life is turned upside down. It's her worst nightmare. Now everyone at school knows what she really thinks of them, and they're not afraid to tell her what they really think of her either. But amid the chaos, there's one person growing to appreciate the real Sadie, Julius, the only boy she's sworn to hate. It's giving Academic Rivals, which she actually has an Academic Rivals book that I have a copy of. I have, I think, 3 of her books, and I haven't read any of them. I know, okay? I'm working on it. That Selfsame Metal by Brittany M. Williams. This is another one I've had for a while. It's a YA fantasy. I can't remember if I've been saying every genre. I like to say every genre of book that I'm reading, and it is about a girl and she can wield metal, which I've never read a fantasy book where the character could wield metal, so that is very new to me. 16-year-old Joan Sands creates and maintains the stage blades for William Shakespeare's acting company, the King's Men, using her magical ability to control metal, a power gifted to her by the Orisha Ogun. Joan and her family have always been aware of the Fae's presence within London society. Subtle, peaceful, and marked by the faint glow that only those who bless the Orisha can see. When England's new king fails to uphold the pact between his realm and theirs, brutal attacks forewarn the approach of a malevolent presence. After Joan wounds a powerful Fae and saves the son of her cruel lord, she finds herself thrown in the middle of the approaching war between the human and Fae worlds. Swashbuckling, romantic, and full of the sight and sound of Shakespeare's London. That Selfsame Metal delivers an unforgettable story and a heroine unlike any other. It looks really good. It sounds really good, and Ayana Gray has a quote on the back. That is another series that I plan to read in 2025, the Beast of Prey trilogy. I really want to read that, so Birds of a Feather Flock Together. We'll see if I like it. Right, now we have Chaos and Flame by Tessa Gratton and Justina Ireland. This was sent to me a very long time ago, and I found it on my shelf the other day, and I'm like, that looks really good. I love books that have dragons. If it has a dragon in it, I'm going to read it, period, point blank. End of story. If you want to get me to read a book, just be like, hey girl, there's a dragon in it. Okay, I'm adding it to the TBR. Thank you for that. It is a YA fantasy. Book 2 is out, so I want to read this one because I saw a really pretty copy of book 2, but I don't want to get ahead of myself and buy book 2 and I didn't like this one. I'm growing up, and that's how you know I'm growing up, because before I would have bought the whole series. and wouldn't have batted an eye. Read the first book and then suffered through the other 4. But now I'm a new woman. I'm a changed woman. I read, and if I like it, I'll get the other one. If I don't, I will donate this book and give it to someone that will enjoy it. Okay, anyways, last but definitely not least, because this is the book that I highly anticipate to read that I think will just be amazing, and that is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. When I tell you this better be the most amazing, exceptional, jaw-dropping, spectacular, brilliant, fantastic book that I have ever laid my eyes on, I mean it. I have never heard one single bad review about this book, never seen a bad review. Everyone talks so highly of it. It is just the talk of the town on every book platform. Goodreads, Book Talk, BookTube, Bookstagram. People that I'm friends with, they love this book. I have not encountered someone that didn't. So when I tell you that this book better change my life for the better, I mean that. I mean it. I mean nothing short of it. I have very high expectations for this. Like, I expect nothing less than a 5-star read. Nothing less. Not 4.75, not 4.5. I want a 5-star read from this. And it's a long romance book. It's almost 600 pages. 600 pages of romance. Yeah. Yeah. All I really know is that the mailman character plays rugby, and it's a slow burn. People be loving this slow burn and loving that rugby. So like I said, it better be amazing, show-stopping, and I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Am I being dramatic? Yes, I am. But am I serious about it? Also, yes. Also, yes. All right. Anywho, that is my January 2025 TBR, and I'm really trying to stick to it. So let's be friends on Goodreads and Storygraph, and you can see updates day by day of what I'm reading, and if I'm reading the books that I said I was, or if I'm reading a random Kindle Unlimited thriller at 2 a.m. You'll see. It's on there. I'm also going to be trying out the book app Margins this year to see how I like that, how it compares to Storygraph and Goodreads. Do have Fable, but I don't use it, and I got locked out of my account, so I guess I don't have it anymore. Now for my 2025 reading goals. As I said earlier, the amount of books I'm going to read this year is 60. Last year, I had a 30,000 page goal. That will also be my page goal for this year, 30,000 pages. I did not hit it. Hold on. Let me check Storygraph and see. That's also why I love Storygraph, because their analytics are so much better. My reading goal was 75 books. I've read 32, so 41%. My pages goal was 30,000. I read 10,646 pages. The average time for me to finish a book was 7 days. I mainly read mysterious, dark, tense books. I read fast-paced books, and the page numbers were in between 300 and 499. See, Goodreads does not be doing all that, and I only read fiction. I do want to read more nonfiction. That's another goal, is to read more nonfiction and to just branch out the genres that I read in general. I want to be reading literary fiction, nonfiction, romantic suspense, romance, translated fiction. Oh wow, print and digital. I read 52% print, 48% digital. I'm shocked by that. And the genres, I mainly read thriller, mystery, and then the least I read was fantasy, and I'm a fantasy girly. That is changing in 2025. I'm coming back, fantasy books. I'm coming back. And my most read author was Frida McFadden, and then Noelle W. Ely, and then Lisa Unger. 60 books, 30,000 pages, branch out genres, and then stay consistent with my reading journal. That is a must. If you made it this far, comment on every single video. Hey, can we see a reading journal flip through? Can we get a reading journal progress so far? Ask on every single video, okay? Every single video. I will not get tired of it. It will give me motivation to keep doing it. I also want to read the Old Testament this year. My mom got me a new Bible. I love it so much, and I want to read through the Old Testament, or try to. Stay consistent on all my social media platforms. My biggest thing is being consistent. One thing about me is I will film a whole video and then wait to edit it, and then I'm like, oh, too much time has gone by, I can't post it now. No more of that. I don't care if 6 months has passed. If I edit that video, it's getting posted. It does not matter. Even if I filmed it 6 years ago. If I'm like, you know what, now it's time to post. I'm just so hard on myself. I'm like, this video is not perfect, so I'm not gonna put it out. But also, it's like I spent time filming it. There's so many vlogs where so many interesting things are happening, but I'm like, oh, the lighting is too dark, or oh, it's too loud. I'm gonna put out quality content. I beat myself up over it. I'm gonna try to do a lot less of that and just be consistent. Obviously still quality videos, but if the lighting is a little too dark in one clip, I don't have to just discard the whole video. So I'm going to be consistent with posting, and I would love to start up my book club again. My book club was on Fable, and like I said, I'm locked out of that account, and I have tried so many times to get back into it, but it has not been successful thus far. I also want to share more on this channel besides just books. I have other hobbies as well. I love building Lego sets. I love doing puzzles. I've been trying to become a movie and TV show girly, but I'm just not. I'll watch a TV show, and that'll be like the one TV show of the year. Like, I watch one show, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, yeah, that was a pretty good show. And I just rewatch it over and over and over again until I get tired of it, find one more that I love, and then, yeah. I've been getting a lot of show recommendations for the books I like. They're like, hey, if you like this book, watch this show. So I'm going to try that, share that with you guys too. And I also really want to make a movie journal. I saw one, I'm like, okay, that's cool. But reading journal comes first because I said it first. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what's on your January TBR. Let me know what's on your January TBR and one of your most anticipated reads of the year. I mentioned earlier, mine is Binding 13. Definitely one of them. Better be amazing. If you read Binding 13, leave your thoughts down below. No spoilers, please. That's another thing I wanted to ask. I film so many reading vlogs and then I don't post them because I'm like, this is too spoiler. Do people like full spoiler reading vlogs? Sometimes it is so hard for me to articulate why I loved a book or why I disliked a book without being like, you know what, this specific scene right there, that did it for me. That's why I don't like this character. That's why I don't like this at third. Or if I love the book, I'm like, this quote word for word, page 52, bottom of the page. That's what made this book. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in for more videos and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's a fun time over here. Bye guys, I'll see y'all next time.